Hey everybody, Mr. Cinema Junkie here. This is my video entry to Half the Mike's Contest. Hello Mike, how you doing? Thanks for having the contest, man. It's great. The prizes are awesome. You have no idea. I was just looking on Amazon trying to decide between those Walking Dead books. I didn't know if I wanted the compendium or what I wanted, and those look awesome. So I'm in it to win it, man. My best experience at a theater. I have so many good experiences at the theaters, more than bad. I have some interesting stories that I'll share. Oh, excuse me. That I will share at a later date because they don't really fit the criteria of what you're asking here. But before I met my wife, I wasn't dating anybody, and I worked nights at a hotel, so my sleep schedule was all off. And on my days off, I would usually spend it trying to get my sleep schedule back in order. So once in a while, what I would do, my favorite thing to do, was to go to a place. It was a bargain cinema. We called them dollar theaters, but they didn't cost $1 for a long time. They stopped costing just $1, but they were still called dollar theaters. At the time, I think they were charging $1.75 for second-run movies. What I would do is I'd get off work, I'd buy a newspaper, and I'd look at the listings of the movies that were showing there. And with my pen and another piece of paper, I'd write down the ones that looked interesting and what times they started and what time the one after that started, and kind of cross-reference the times. Basically what I was doing was I was setting it up to watch one movie after another all day long. And I would stay from opening time to closing time. But it never failed. No matter how tight the schedule was, I always had this gap between two movies, and it was usually an hour to an hour and a half long, which worked out because I would leave the theater and walk across the parking lot to a Wendy's, and I'd eat something. I'd have lunch, a couple of dollar burgers and a soda. Sometimes what I would do is I'd get a drink at the movies, and I'd nurse it for the first couple of movies. Then I'd go to Wendy's, get lunch there and get a drink there, get a couple of refills, and on my third refill I'd take that and dump that into my movie cup, walk back into the theater with my movie cup, and continue watching the movies. Those are always fun for me. That was what I did. That's what I liked doing. That's what I enjoyed doing. And one time, after I was good and married, we had talked about that. My wife was always asking me, what would you do before we were married? And I told her about that. She goes, oh, you do that all day? She's not into movies like I am. Watching one movie is a test for her, sitting there and having to watch one movie. She couldn't imagine spending the entire day there. So I invited her to try it. And her and my 2 kids, I got the movies out, and this was a little harder because we had 4 people wanting to see different things. So every once in a while, we would all split up into different theaters, but we would always have to meet back at a certain time. We did the lunch thing, and she lasted maybe 3 or 4 movies, and then she's like, I have to go home. I can't do this anymore. Boo! She split. But the boys hung in there, and we watched everything all the way to the end, and got out when they were turning off the lights and all that other stuff. We played some games in the arcade. We ate at Wendy's. It was a good day. It was great, man. And I want to do it again. I haven't done it in forever. I have not done that in for so long, and I miss it. Would love to go to a third-run theater, someplace cheap. I'm sure we have some around here. This was down in Texas. I live in Ohio now, so I'm sure they have something around here that wouldn't be too terribly expensive. In fact, we have a first-run theater where the movies are only like $4, $4.50, and they sell dollar hot dogs now. $5 for a movie and something to eat doesn't sound too bad. Plus, there's a Subway right on the corner from there, so I think I'm gonna have to pay this place a visit and do the whole movie thing again. And if I do, I'll let you know how that is. But it's not just one time that I did that, but when I did it, that was my best movie theater experience. Spending the entire day from opening to closing.